Good morning. This is Carrie from KDS Insurance Services down in Texas, and I wanted to come to you today and talk to you as a business owner. So, if you're a business owner, I have a story to tell you that's a personal story, but it's a great example of what can happen to you as a business owner if you are not prepared and have the right insurance in place. So, I went yesterday and decided I wanted to try a set of professionally applied eyelashes. I have, in the last few months, lost a significant amount of my eyelashes. And so I decided to go and do some research and find out what I wanted. I knew the kind of eyelashes that I wanted and that I wanted to have them professionally done because they last about a month or so. And so I went and I had them done. And the process took quite a long time, 2.5 hours. And I came home and was adjusting to the lashes because, you know, whenever you have something on your eyes, you have a tendency to blink and all that kind of stuff. So I was doing really well and I was adjusting to the lashes. And about 9:30 last night, I started to feel a lot of burning in my eyes. And I thought, well, that's weird. You know, this is 10 hours later, basically. And within about 30 minutes, my eyes were completely and totally on fire. Started to swell. I felt like they were literally catching on fire. And so I called the emergency room and they said, you need to soak those lashes off right away, because when we see this, it's generally the glue is contaminated or it's old, and you need to get the lashes off right away before you get an infection in your tear ducts or in your eye. Now, these lashes are generally supposed to last a month, and the glue, the adhesion that they use is extremely strong. So it took me over an hour to soak these lashes off, and it was extremely painful to get them off. I managed to get them off, and my eyes swelled shut. And I had to put cold compresses on them for about 2.5 hours. The moral to this story as a business owner is this. Now, I'm not going to, but if you don't have liability insurance to protect your business from this kind of example where I suffered an injury to my eyes, I could go back to that facility and say, I'm going to sue you for damages. I'm not going to do that because I feel like this was out of their control. I think they purchased a product that was old or whatever, and I don't feel like it was their fault, and I don't think it was done maliciously. I will go back to them and ask for my money back because they're not cheap. But as a business owner, if it was my salon, I could be on the hook for the damages that that I would bring as a customer, because it's a direct result of a service that I had done at a business. And so that kind of exposure is a liability exposure. It's called general liability completed operations. So I went in and I had a procedure done and it was completed, so it's a completed act. And it is a general liability exposure because dealing with the public, when you offer goods and services and something goes wrong with those goods and services, or the consumer is injured in some way, then you become liable as the business owner. So that's an extremely important coverage that a lot of businesses just, they don't do it. Here in the state of Texas, it's not mandatory. If you own a if you own a business and it has a public place, meaning the public can actually go into the place, like a hair salon or a nail salon, if you're not carrying liability insurance on that facility, then you are asking for a serious problem. The public can come in, they could trip and fall through the door because you've got a rug at the front door, and not because it's done maliciously, but you've created a situation where the public could come in and get hurt, and you as the business owner are ultimately liable for anything that happens in your facility or from a service that you provide to the public. Now, generally, unless you're in a high risk type situation, doctors, that sort of thing, nail salons have a little bit of a risk because they're dealing with body parts, and so people can get cut and then get infections, and so they have a higher risk than, for example, a flooring company or a interior design facility. Doctors are really high because of the malpractice that they have, which has to be on top of their general liability insurance. So if you are a business owner and you are not protecting yourself from the completed acts that you do for your consumer, then you have left yourself open for a pretty significant liability issue and a lawsuit in the event that your customer is harmed in some way, whether that be financially, physically. You've installed a floor and the floor comes up, completed operations, and so you need to get with your agent. For me, for example, when I get one of these requests in, I shop it with as many carriers that is willing to offer that company a quote, and I get the best package of coverages for the very best, most competitive price I can find. That's how I operate, and then we do the same thing again at renewal. Probably 65% of my clients will see some sort of savings because I'm part of a national group of agents, and so we pool all of our business, and so we can then offer to the consumer group pricing, which is always going to be less expensive than individual pricing. So I hope this helps you. If you're a business owner and you don't have this in place, I would strongly suggest that you get in touch with an agent and get yourself covered, because you just don't know. There is no way I would have ever expected to be on the phone with the ER, and I do have injury to my eyes. They are extremely red. They have blisters in them. They're gone this morning because I was able to get ice compresses on them and alleviate that, but they are extremely sore and tender, and they're completely red on the inside. I think you can see there. And I would have never ever dreamed that I would have had this kind of reaction to mink eyelashes. So I'm a great example of an unknown exposure that a business could incur from dealing with the public. So I hope this helps you. If you don't mind, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear back from you. As always, if you don't mind, please subscribe. It does help me out tremendously. And don't forget to hit that bell so you know the next time that I post a video. And I really hope you have a blessed day. Don't forget, at my channel, my name is Carrie Devlin Scroggins, and we are here to help you successfully have it all. And as a business owner, having it all is being successful and making sure that you are protecting yourself. So give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.